Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we are doing our March week 1 check-in. So this is gonna be a long video. It's gonna be one of the longer videos. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let me tell you guys what we're going to do in this video. We are going to set up our weekly check-in and weekly balance. And I use this one to balance out our checking account, and I use this one to balance out our day-to-day expenses. We are going to talk about our savings for these amounts. We're gonna go ahead and check in for the 1st all the way up to the 11th in our monthly view. And we are going to correct a mistake that we did in February. And last but not least, we're going to talk about our Savopoly saving challenge, since we decided we're going to do this at the beginning of the month because I am horrible at remembering to calculate Savopoly in the current month. I wanted to insert this little clip here because I wanted to let you guys know, if you are new to my channel, hello, but I want to give you guys a fair warning that this video is gonna be a bit on the confusing side because there's a lot of things I should have done in the previous video and there's a lot of jumping around, so the flow is definitely not the same as like it usually is for my videos, so it could be definitely confusing if you're not used to the way that I do my budget. Next week's check-in should definitely have a lot better flow, so I should go back to normal. But yeah, so let me go ahead and continue the video. We are going to go ahead and get started. Let's actually start with the shorter things first. So let's do our sinking funds correction. So last month we balanced this out, but I was actually $5 off. You guys actually caught this, more specifically the handle psych chick. You guys caught this and corrected it because I would have never ever caught this. But yes, I ended up adding 169 instead of 164. All the other calculations are correct except for this column right here. So if we do it again, it's 300 plus 14 plus 164 plus 190 plus 505. That is 1173 and not 1178. Luckily this number is correct because I added it from this column instead of like plus plus minus type of thing. So for example, 1173, so let's add this up. We had a starting amount of 3985 plus 1000 minus 1173 instead of 1178. That equals the same amount still. So we're gonna go ahead and make that correction real quick. And if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about right now, I went over this in my February results video. So I do talk about all of these spreads. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move forward. Now that that's corrected, we're going to talk about our budget for our weekly check-in. For our weekly check-in, I did some spending, or we did some spending for the beginning of this month. Oh, and the sheets that I have here, these are both my March budget kits design 1 sheets. I stole a washi from both of these for the sinking funds. That's why they're both missing one. But yes, this is the design 1. And talking about our budget, we spent like quite a bit for this month, so I do think we have a bunch of transactions to go through. I also really do want to work on getting the next quarter set up with you guys, so I'm not like late when doing the April one. I'm assuming that video is probably gonna go up next week, most likely, because I don't think it's gonna go up this week since this week is new releases. And then the new releases video will most likely already be out by now, if not like the same day as this video. That's the weekly check-in banner. I also only check in for 4 weeks versus 5 weeks. So I'm going to only use 4 of these strips to check in for 4 weeks. That is a week 1. There was something that I wanted to talk about, but why don't I remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember what it was I wanted to talk about. Oh, I remember now. So talking about the previous video, I asked you guys what you guys wanted to see and stuff. And honestly, I tried to film that video like a bunch of times, going over our financial picture, our financial history, all of the numbers, everything, you know, just naked. But every time I filmed it, I just I just had to keep redoing it because I was getting anxious. I didn't really know how to like go about it and stuff. So I'm thinking that I might just have to just wait a little bit longer, but I do want to share more. So I'm just going to do it more in like a natural way, just like as I go out throughout the weeks, checking in numbers for the month of April. I'm just going to start just sharing more versus kind of just like making like a all-in-one video of just like everything. I think I'm definitely more comfortable with that for sure, but this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not something that I do not want to do, because I do want to do it. I guess I just don't know I guess I don't know how to go about it. Wow, that took me a while to get that phrase out. Let me go ahead and do these lines real quick. Okay, I realized I didn't talk about what planner I'm using. This is the Erin Condren monthly planner. This is in the color blends way. This is the 7x9 size, and the pen that I am using is the Muji pen. This is in 0.38. I really do like some gel pens. I love gel pens. Okay, so we're gonna talk about, and I am using just 4 since there is 5 weeks in this. The last week I'm just gonna not use. Okay, all right, that last week will just stay over there. Now we're gonna go ahead and just set up the weekly balance as well since we're here, and then we'll fill everything out together. Oh my gosh, by the way, this is like a random thought. I don't know why I thought about it, but like eggs are so expensive right now. I know that's not really new news. I'm pretty sure you guys all know already, but like, well, eggs are so expensive right now. And we are big egg eaters too. We eat eggs with like everything. So like with rice, with noodles, with just like meals, scrambled, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So yeah, eggs are expensive. That used to be our like broke food. Like we literally didn't have money for anything. We would just eat eggs, rice, some soy sauce, and that used to just be it. But it's crazy. Okay, so this is week 1, and these are going to be the same, I guess like the same distance as the other side, because I just like how symmetrical it looks. Though this side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This side has only 3 categories to do. I used to be good at eyeballing like how many lines there are in between, but like it's not the same. And also, since I always share with you guys what we're doing, I think we might try for a baby again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will actually have to see about that, because like we should get our finances in order first, because like another baby, more money, more expenses. But we definitely do want the babies to be close in age, because like I just feel like it would just be easier for us to just go through all those milestones kind of like close to each other. I don't know. I could just be hallucinating, and that's like completely not true, but I guess we'll just have to find out. There's one flag, 2 flags, 3, and then the last flag. And these flags are slightly different from the previous one, just because I like the look of like the different flags. Now that's week 5, and we are actually done with those sheets. Okay, so we are looking good. Let me write the dates down for them real quick, and then we actually have to balance out our checking account before we do anything. So the first week is the 1st to the 11th, 1 to 11. Then we have the 12th to the 18th, 19th to the 25th, and then the 26th to the 31st. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and balance out now we're gonna do that after this. No, let's do this first. We're gonna fill out the weekly balance, and then we will balance out that one checking account. So we are gonna fill these out. So we have the monthly budget categories, or these are like the day-to-day expenses. Then we have the bills category, and then we have sinking funds. So for these categories, we are going to talk about them in a second, but let's go back to February, because I should have balanced this out at the end of the month of February when we did the results video, but I'm trying to get into a flow here of remembering what to do in each one. I should write this down, and I should definitely like take notes, everything, but I just failed to do that. We're going to talk about the ending balances for everything. So last month, the remaining amount that we had in our sinking funds was $3,812. As you guys can see for the month of March, we are starting with $3,812. The rest of these categories, we have $207 left over from our day-to-day expenses. We have $24.88 left over from the bills, and then we also had like the 5 cents interest. So in total for this account, we had $4,034.93, because that was the addition of adding all of this up together. This, I should have ended the month with deducting all the additional and just having $3,812 remaining, because that's the only thing that we roll over from the previous month to the new month's budget. So we have $4,043.93 minus the $3,812, that's from sinking funds. So this is the additional funds that we had left over from all of the remaining categories, because we just want what we're starting the month of March with, just the sinking funds, because sinking funds is the only thing that I roll over. I don't roll anything else over. Everything else that's left over from the month that was not spent, I put into savings. We are going to now transfer whatever over to make that $3,812 in this second checking account. And if you guys are curious about my checking accounts, I will have a video linked below going over our checking and savings accounts along with the apps that we use to help us budget, because we are cashless budgeters. But for sure, this might be confusing, because like I should have did this in my February results, because now it's gonna kind of make the flow of this video very like funky. But yeah, so we're going to do $231.93. This is what the leftovers from February. We're going to put this in our emergencies account. Yeah, let's just do that. We're going to put this in emergencies. We're going to put all of this in emergencies. So what's today's date? I also need to transfer over the savings account amount, but I have not done that. So let's just do this one first. Let's do this one first. This one was already transferred on the 3rd. We'll talk about this transaction in a second, but the $231.93 that was left over from February, let's just transfer that real quick. And we are transferring that from our second checking account to our primary checking, because this is the account that we have all outgoing money. So since I'm transferring it to our savings account takes like 2 or 3 business days to take out. So I'll just have the money in here waiting to be taken out, and I don't have to worry about like remembering to calculate it out, because you guys probably know by now my memory is horrible. So that's why that account really helps us out. All right, so I'm grabbing another extra sticker that I just had laying around. This is no longer accurate, so let's actually just like, I'm gonna put this here because this is no longer accurate. I'm gonna cross this off. It is now $3,812. So now that this is the amount that we have, we're going to talk about the rest of these savings accounts, and then we'll talk about the sinking funds. So now that this is transferred, what is today's date? Today is 3/13/2023, and we have, these are all getting transferred to our Ally. I set this up with you guys at the beginning of the month, but we have one of the buckets for Ally, because you can split them up into different buckets, is our emergencies, and we had $7,100 in there. We added $602. That means this one was then $7,702. But then we went ahead and added this amount, $7,702 plus the $231.93 equals $7,933.93. So this is no longer the end balance. And then we are going to add $50 next, but like we'll do that in a second. But that is what our new emergency buckets currently is at. This savings tracker, you can definitely calculate like different accounts. I decided to put buckets in here, but if you had multiple savings accounts at multiple institutions, you can definitely do that as well. But now that we're kind of caught up for that, let's move on to talking about the sinking funds and the starting balance. $3,812 is what we left February with, but for the month of March, we did add an additional $1,000. Our starting balance for our sinking funds for this month is $3,812 plus the $1,000. That is $4,812 that we're starting the month of, what is this called? The month of March with. Then for bills, we are starting with $3,150, so $3,150, because that is the total estimates for all of our variable bills and all of our fixed bills. So for the bills, we are starting with $3,150. As you guys can see, everything's kind of broken down. Sinking funds is broken down to all of these little categories. For our bills, is broken down to all of these categories. And then the last but not least, we have our day-to-day expenses, which is our monthly budget. Those are these 5 categories here. These, as I always say, would be my cash envelopes if I did utilize cash envelopes, and that is $1,000. So that is $1,000 for the day-to-day expenses. And then we already calculated the sinking funds because that already got added, but there is Ally as well. Talking about these categories, we already calculated the total for our bills, the total for these day-to-day expenses, and the total for these fixed. Everything equates to $5,200 because we are doing the zero-based budget. $5,200 we have to transfer from our savings. Our savings account, we left with $5,680.13. This is definitely not up to date anymore. I'm running out of stickers over here, because we did get some paychecks. So it looks like we only got one paycheck. We got our first paycheck of March. So we transferred $1,300. So the new balance in here is $6,988.13. But as you guys know, all the paychecks that we get for whatever month it is, it's for next month. So all the paychecks we get for March, for this current month, is going to be our budget for April. So that's kind of why we're a month ahead. Now that we're looking at this, we know that for our March budget, it was $5,200 that we zeroed out of. So we know that we have to transfer $5,200 from our short terms account to our second checking account. So I'm going to transfer that full $5,200 in a second. So now that we did that, our new amount, I still have leftover stickers. I have leftover stickers everywhere. So our new amount for this account is no longer this anymore. It is now $1,780.13 in this savings account. So this savings account is now balanced. This should not change into our next week's check-in because we'll get an additional paycheck. But now for this one, it is no longer $3,812. It is now $9,012 even. Get rid of this one. And then this one is like not correct, but yes. So now these are the accurate amounts for both of the accounts: $1,788.13, and then this is the 900, or what am I saying? This is the $9,012. So those are currently accurate. So let's talk about the rest of this now. To talk about our weekly balance bills, we have the $1,000 for our day-to-day expenses, plus the $3,150 for bills, plus the $4,812 for sinking funds. This in total, I'm just going to write it here, is $8,962. And as you can see, it's $50 off. So if I put that plus 50, it equals that amount. The reason why is because $50 of our budget, we said that we were going to transfer to Ally. I have not transferred it to Ally yet, so let's actually just do that now real quick. We are going to transfer it to Ally, so $313.23. We are going to transfer it. Okay, so that is transferred. So now this account will look like this, $7,983.93. That is what this account will now look like. That is the updated number. That $50 I just transferred over here. And then like when I transfer it to Ally, it will just take a few days to come out. Once any money is in this primary checking, I just pretend it's not there anymore, because it's going to go towards like our savings. It's going to go towards our credit card, wherever it's going. I consider the money already spent. But yeah, so that is what that emergency fund is looking like. Again, we will of course recap this in April. But now I think, are we caught up? Okay, there's only 2 more things: the weekly check-in, and then of course our Savopoly. So let's I'm already at 30 minutes for this. I still have to edit some stuff out, of course. Let's go ahead and just go into our monthly calendar. So I have everything written down. Let's go ahead and go through our different categories. Okay, we're gonna put that on the side. We are gonna open up our app. Our app is the Daily Budget app, and of course this is in the video that I'll link below, talking about the apps that we use. Now let's start with the first. We're gonna scroll to the first. First, nothing was spent. Second, we have this little shopping bag. I use that to symbolize our allowance category. So for that one week, I got lash lift because I wanted to try laminating my eyebrows. I've been seeing like a bunch of videos about laminating eyebrows, and I just really wanted to try doing that because like I have like my eyebrows are kind of weird. They're just weird. I just think they're weird. So I tried to laminate them, and I think I got chickened out, so I didn't do it for a long period of time. So it kind of worked but didn't work. Whatever week it is, I'm gonna do some self-care. I'm gonna try to laminate my eyebrows again. But that was the lash lift because like I just used the basic lash lift kit because it's supposed to just do the same thing. But anyway, the next thing that we have is from the pups and bean category. I have a little paw print because before we had our baby I had a paw print for the pups, but I might change that icon. But I got Beanie a sun hat because we were going to go to Disney World, but it's so expensive, so we decided not to. But I figured a sun hat would still be really nice for her for the summertime. On Friday the 3rd, we had a fork and knife. That means it's from the food or eating out category. That was from the Habit Grill. The reason why we ended up getting the Habit Grill is because like I ended up seeing this YouTube video of like all the free things you can get on your birthday, and the Habit Grill gives you a free char burger on your birthday. So we ended up just wanting to eat Habit Grill because like it looks really good. The food looks really good. That was on the 3rd. Nothing spent on the 4th or 5th or 6th, which is nice. On the 7th we had a Chick-fil-A. I think we just got lazy. We didn't want to make food, so we ended up just buying Chick-fil-A. But that was on the 7th. Then the 3rd, what is this? The 8th, we had some more transactions. One of them was for Bean spoons. We got her some baby spoons because she is eating solids now, which is really exciting. She's doing so well. Oh my god, I love her so much. She's such a good girl. But she is eating some puree foods. Then looks like we got Habit Grill again this day. My husband really likes our onion rings. We got Habit Grill again this day, and that was $38. I'm not saying how much anything costs. Chick-fil-A was $20. The spoons was $10. Habit Grill was $38. The previous Habit Grill was $30 because this time we had a coupon and we got like less sides. So the sun hat was $11, and then the lash lift was $22. Next for this day, we had some groceries. This is the yellow category for my key over here, and we got some groceries from Target. Honestly, I think I just got Peeps because I really wanted the cotton candy Peeps, so I don't really know if that should have been considered groceries, but it's already here. And then the last thing that we had this day is we have a transaction for the gifts and treating category, and that was for Kung Fu tea for $31. We got some Kung Fu tea for Dustin's family. Don't mind this last line. This is February Savopoly because like I'm trying not to forget about Savopoly, so I wanted to put that there so I'd remember. Now moving on, we have the 9th we got gas. The 10th we had McDonald's. If only we did this the same day so I could use one less, so I could have one more no spend day, but it is what it is. We're trying to be honest over here. We want to know what our actual progress is. So there's that one. Eating out is McDonald's, which is this light pink. And then what is next? And then the 11th, we had a bunch of stuff on the 11th, it looks like. So one of them was from the pups category again. We ended up getting a nail trimmer. Well, a new one because like the one that we had was getting really old, and we wanted to get a new one for our pups' nails. Then we had a eating out category for Rockville. We got Dustin went to Rockville to hang out with his friend, and he picked up some food to bring home. The next thing that we got was, oh, that's right, he ended up picking me up some Krispy Kreme and Starbucks in the morning before he left as well. So that was really cute of him. He also got some more sweet potatoes from H Mart because Beanie is eating sweet potatoes currently. So we got some more sweet potatoes, and then Wegmans, I forgot what the heck he got here. What did he get from Wegmans? I don't even remember what he got from here, honestly. Kind of wish I did remember, but I don't. But apparently it was groceries. I'm just going to cover that dot because, like, I don't know. Okay, so that is what this looks like, and there was only one expense from the sinking fund category, and that was for gifts and treating. He treated out his friend to the Iron Age. It was like an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place. They spent $106. So that was those categories. Now let's go ahead and do our none spends real quick, and then we will do our weekly check-in for these categories. Okay, so that is all the expenses. Now for the none spent. Let's see, so you only have 4. That's actually the worst I've done in a while, huh? So we have 4 in total. This is the most we've spent in quite some time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our weekly check-in. And I believe Jenna is the one who gave this idea to, because I don't roll over. I never roll over any funds. So I usually always put a dash here. But she suggested to put the starting balances in here so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth, and I think that is brilliant. So let me actually do that. Eating out, we're starting with $300. Groceries, you're starting with $400, and the rest of these we're starting with $100. And all of these numbers I'm just getting from our monthly, whatever we budgeted for ourselves for the month to spend from each category. So that is now over here. I just transferred it so I don't have to keep flipping. So let's talk about our expenses. Let's do the one-off things. Looks like gas is one-off. This was only $34 for gas. And then we have one allowance, which was $22. So gas is $34. And then allowance is $22. Now for the rest of it, let's do, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's do the yellow. $6 plus the dot on the bottom is making it come up, but there's $9, and then plus $10 equals $25 for the yellow category, which is our groceries. I really like this yellow. 25. Now let's do, I guess let's do violet next. So we have the nail trimmer. That was $9 plus the sun hat, which is $11. Plus the last thing, which is another $10 for the spoon. That is $30 that was spent from the pups and bean category. Last but not least, we have eating out. We have a lot of eating out. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a second. Let me add them up. So we have $22 plus the $47 plus the $37. Sorry, what does that say? Plus $30 plus the $20. So plus the $38 plus the $20 equals $177 that we spent from eating out. And everything is now checked off, so we're looking good. 177, geez. In just week 1 or week 1.5. Okay, so let's calculate this. That means we started with 300. So 300 minus the 177 equals a remaining of a 123 for eating out for the rest of the month. Then we have 400 minus the $25 that we spent for groceries leaves $375 for the month. Gas, we had 100 minus the $34 equals $66 for the month. Then we have 100 minus 22 for allowance, $78. And then for the pups and bean category, we had $100. That minus the 30 equals $70 for the month. I'm realizing the way I was holding it, you guys probably kept seeing this light, and that was probably very annoying. So I do apologize. Now we have our very hefty first week. So for the monthly budget, which is literally the day-to-day expenses that we just calculated, let's actually put that in first. We have the 177 plus the 25 plus the 34 plus the 22 plus the 30 equals $288 that we spent from our day-to-day expenses. $288. That, since we started off with 1,000 minus that, means we have $712 remaining for the month. Now let's do sinking funds next. Aha! Good for me to remember. So Savopoly. We kept rolling for Savopoly last month and I kept forgetting. At the end of the month, I was supposed to tally everything up and take it out of an account and I forgot. So we're just going to be doing this at the beginning. So for Savopoly, for the previous month, we ended up being able to roll $239. We're going to go ahead and transfer this over into savings. What does that say? $239. So this one is for Savopoly, and this was February's rolls. Today's date is the 13th, 23. So $239. The previous month of Savopoly, we ended with $587.04. Since we started the month of March with $587.04, and we are adding $239, $587.04 plus $239. That means in our Savopoly, we now have $826.04, because we are going to go ahead and transfer this over today as well. In order to transfer this, we have to take it from somewhere. So we are going to take it from a sinking funds category. So the amount I have to take is $239. I think for $239, I believe I'm just going to take it out of, I think I'm going to take 100 from our home category and then the rest of it from the baby category. So we have home and baby. So home is $100. Since we're transferring $239, that means we still have $139 remaining to transfer it to $139. For February Savopoly as well. That looks good. So we're taking it out from our sinking funds and we're going to go ahead and transfer it over to our savings. Now for the deductions. So let's go ahead and now calculate everything that we spent from our sinking funds. We spent $31 plus the $106 plus the $100 plus the $139 since Savopoly, and these are now accounted for. This is in total of $376 that we're spending from sinking funds. I know a part of it is not actually spending, but we are still transferring it out to put into our external savings account. And what we started with was 4812. So that minus the 376 is a remaining of $4,436. So now, last but not least, is our bills. So let's talk about our bills real quick. I'm going to check our credit card and our checking account for any bills that might have came out. Okay, so it looks like these are the bills that came out for the first week. 2 of them came out of our checking account. I know we balanced this already, but this was not including these bills that already deducted. I figured that I might as well pretend that they did not come out because it would have just been so confusing otherwise. Yeah, so 2 came out of our checking account and 1 came out of our credit card. So we'll talk about why those matters in a second. Let's go ahead and add these up. So we have $174.77 plus the HOA, which is $80.66, plus the $10.59. That in total is $266.02 that came out for bills. And I really do like checking per week because I just like to make sure, especially our credit card, that no fraud is going on, nothing looks funky. That's how much it came out for this week. We started for bills is $30,150. So that minus that amount that came out is $2,883.98. Okay, we are making some progress. So let's talk about these now. Netflix, this comes out of our credit card. So that means we still have the money in our second checking account because that came out of credit card. The mobile and the HOA, these already came out of our checking account. So these are already deducted and we no longer have the money. So we only have the money for Netflix. So let's transfer out that $10.59 for Netflix. Since these already came out, we need to pay our credit card. So I'm going to transfer $10.59 real quick. And I like to do it in sections like this because this is just a lot easier for my brain to like remember. So let's just take care of our bills real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and do that transfer. Okay, so the bills are good. Now, moving on, let's talk about bills that we just did. So let's talk about the monthly budget or the day-to-day expenses and the sinking funds. Those all we still have the money for as well because they all majority came out of our checking accounts. And for the Savopoly, for example, even though these weren't actual transactions, we're transferring it to our savings account. So we, in the end, still have all the funds. So let's go ahead and transfer. So 288 plus the 376 equals 644. So I'm going to transfer out from our second checking account to our primary because this one, monthly budget, bills, sinking funds, this is what holds all the funds for these three categories. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about how much our total is now. So our new total that is in this account currently is $8,031.98. Let's hope that this matches because I'm about to put our baby to sleep. So if it doesn't match, I'm going to have to come back and do that. But let's add this together. 712 plus 2883.98 plus 4436 equals it matches. Oh my god, amazing. Okay, $8,031.98. I feel like sometimes when I rush, I'm prone to like messing up, so that number now matches, and this is currently what's in the account as well. So that means we are all balanced out. This is the real number that is in our account currently for our second checking, and this is the one that's in our short-term savings. Our long-term savings, I currently don't share that number. And then we have our primary checking. This has like a bunch of funds in here, but that's because I have to go pay our credit card and I have to go make some transfers to our external account. That is what we're looking like. So the last but not least thing that we have to do for this week is our Savopoly roll. We're going to roll 3 times. Rushing, my baby's crying. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our rolls. For our rolls for Savopoly, we're going to roll 3 times as usually, and we're going to use our dice app to do that from the app store. So we have 1 roll, which is a 9. Our little hat is in here. If you guys didn't watch week 4 check-ins, I went to jail so many times. Like, what is that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is $22. First roll that we have to save. Then we have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm in jail again. So for jail, when I go to jail, I have to roll 3 times and save that amount. 3 times, that is plus 7 plus 11 plus 5. That is a 3 rolls. So that, what was that? That was our second like actual roll, right though? Okay, so this is our last roll. We have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That is $24 that we are saving as well. So plus 24. $69 in total that we are saving for week 1. So week 1 is $69, and we're gonna continue doing what we did all the previous weeks, which is still just continue rolling for the rest of the week and see how it goes. But that is actually going to be it for this video. I truly hope I did not miss anything, but this was definitely one of my longest week 1 check-ins. But I hope that you guys still enjoyed it, even though it was like jumping all around the world. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!